Oh, yes, here we are yet again. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to vidIQ and your regular weekly dose of channel audits. I will be your resplendent, bound to make many mistakes, technically inept host, Rob Wilson, your YouTuber in residence here at vidIQ. I've seen a lot of people, for some reason, saying type 1 in the chat as we were launching this live stream. So I want to just amend this a little bit and ask that if you are ready and fired up for more of this high octane education action that we do every single week, let's make this more of a YouTube phrase and say 1 of 10 in the chat, because after our channel audits, that's what you're all going to be getting, right? A little knowledgeable side wink. I say that because the video we launched yesterday is currently at 8 out of 10. And I blame myself entirely for a thumbnail that I just could never quite figure out yesterday. But there we are. It happens to all of us. We are now at week 36 of 2022, which means it is episode 36 of these vidIQ channel audit live streams. And it also means for many of us across the globe, but not all people, I do appreciate that this is probably very much a Western world, maybe English speaking phenomenon, but the first week of September is usually back to school. So I applaud all of you going back into education after your wonderful summers. It is a time of transition, but you are here as well for a unique, this is the kind of education I want type of learning, as we allow you to share your channels, be a little bit vulnerable, expose all of the gory details and bare nakedness of your channel as we expose what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and hopefully take your channel to the next level. And with that being said, I cannot do that without a collection of co-hosts, one of whom is a regular here. I believe this is probably for him. Oh, episode 35. I think this person has missed one episode this year so far, from what I can remember. He is the gaming channel auditing aficionado, eyebrow raising, video reviewing extraordinaire. It's Dan. I just want to drop him in. Hey, I just want to drop him in at the last moment and see if he could react. And boy, Dan, did you react with a double eyebrow raising, sound effect, button pushing, hand gesturing introduction. Welcome. How are you, Dan? What's going on in your world?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Thanks, Dan. I'm brilliant. It sounds like you're really energized today. Introducing next, the reason he wasn't on my schedule today was because I thought it was Apple's launch day for their fall devices. I was telling Dan in another meeting that I was going to be watching that live stream while preparing for this live stream. But it is, in fact, tomorrow that Apple will be announcing the most leaked iPhone 14 in existence, most likely. But as always, this person who doesn't have to now cover Apple right now, he's joining us for this live stream. I just like to give this gentleman 20 seconds of airtime to get you fired up, pumped, and passionate for what we're going to be doing in the next 2 hours. I throw it over to yours truly.
Ooh, that's right, baby. I am back. And as Rob has astutely pointed out, I am off work tomorrow, but I am here today, ready to audit these channels. Let's get this party started. Rob, Dan, Viper, we're all in the building. What's up, people? What is going on? How are y'all doing out here? What's going on? What's going on?
How are you all doing? I guess that means as well, Dan, just as I'm thinking of schedules, that means that I will be with you tomorrow for the video reviews.
I was going to say, I guess I'm alone tomorrow because I know how much you're also excited about this event. I will watch. I will get the cliff notes. I'm not covering the event in any way, but I will be reviewing your videos tomorrow. So there's that.
I tell you what we might do, like during tomorrow's live stream, we may monitor Viper's tweets to see what he's saying about the AFL vaulting, just to put him under a little bit of pressure as we live stream. But anyway, all of that happens tomorrow. What happens today is that we audit your YouTube channels. And before we do all of that, I just like to have a little bit of a ice-breaking conversation with our co-hosts and UV audience. And since it is, generally speaking, for a lot of people probably watching this live stream, back to school this week or very, very soon, I want to ask you, what was your favorite subject? Or what is your favorite subject at school, if you had one? And for me, I think many people will probably answer this. It did depend on the teacher. Like if you got a really good teacher, they could get you passionate about any subject, even if it was, for me, religious education. I got to admit, that wasn't a subject that I looked forward to most of the time, but there was one really interesting teacher who I had for a year, and when I really enjoyed that subject. But I would say, generally speaking, my favorite subject was history, especially learning about the recent history, World War II and so on. Dan, if you had a favorite subject at school, what would you say it was?
Oh, my school was really cool. So like towards the end of the day, every day they had this simulator and you can actually like get on and sit in it.
What?
And yeah, and so there was this driver, it was like this riding simulator. So you'd sit in it and a driver would actually drive you home and you would get to like, just be home afterwards. It was great. It was like a big yellow thing everyone got on. It was around the end of the day.
So it sounds like your favorite subject was pretend playing video games at school subjects. It's kind of what you just described to me there.
It was anything that involved getting home at the end of the day. That was mine.
So public transportation was your favorite subject?
Yeah, civics.
Viper, what about you?
I was a nerd, man. So my favorite subjects were basically math and science. I was good at math. I was decent at science. And they kind of marry each other in certain ways. So those were my favorites.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised at how many people are saying math and science. I guess it's either a love or a hate thing. Like if you're good at it and it makes sense, you really enjoy it. But for people who find maths or maths in particular, like really difficult, or science is just like a boring subject for people. But yeah, so many people are saying science here and math. I'm actually really surprised. Not that many people saying the obvious one, like maybe the PE, physical education, gym, that type of thing. But yeah, plenty of people telling them what their subjects were. I'm curious to know if any of these subjects actually feed into your YouTube channels in any way, shape, or form. That's kind of curious side conversation. But now that you've all joined us and you're ready for a bit of education and learning, welcome to the Tuesday Channel Audit live streams. If you are brand new here, then I do suggest that you just save that in a chat, because our regular members, our original gangsters, our moderators will welcome you with open arms into this community and family that we have here. But just to aid some of you who are new, we're going to show you how this live stream works in an explainer video that lasts just 60 seconds of your time. Welcome to the vidIQ Channel Audit live stream, where we review your YouTube channels. To submit your channel for review, make sure to fill out the right form linked in the video description. Note that we clear these forms after every live stream, so make sure to resubmit the following week. Channel audits are free, so please don't send us a super chat or spam us in a chat expecting a review. If there are alternative ways to get picked for an audit, we will let you know during the live stream. If we don't get around to reviewing your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 with you. Make sure to download our tools and use the 30-day free trial using a link in the video description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our moderators who do a phenomenal job every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As for all of you, well, thumbs up if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and if you know of a fellow creator who may find all of this stuff useful, please do share it with them. And with all of that being said, let's start auditing your channels. Final pieces of housekeeping as always. We get hundreds, sometimes thousands of submissions every single week. Unfortunately, we can't audit every single channel. So what we recommend you do is bring up your channel on a second screen if you're able to do that. And then as we are auditing the channel live, whoever that may be, you can see how the challenges that channel is facing, be it thumbnails, titles, channel focus, consistency, apply to what you're doing on your channel. Because I guarantee you, pretty much 90% of the time, we're talking about YouTube fundamentals that can apply to all channels of all shapes and sizes. And with that being said from me, Dan, Viper, anything to share with us before we go into the channel audits?
Right now, 46% of the people here in chat are feeling 3 stars about their channel, just right down the middle. So,
3 stars out of 5, right?
Yeah, out of 5. So 1, 3, or 5 stars. A good bit of people feeling 1 star about their channel, and hopefully we can help them out today. Because if their channels aren't on the screen, they might continue feeling 1 star, and I don't want them to. What I would prefer is if they take the advice to heart, even if it's not going directly on their channel, and we're looking to turn those 1 stars into as many 5 stars as possible.
Yeah. And my thing is pretty much what Dan just said. A lot of people, it's fun because you all think we don't see the chat, but at least I'm looking at the chat every time I'm on these live streams, and I see y'all complaining about how your channel doesn't get chosen, this, that, and the other. But here's the thing. We end up repeating ourselves a lot during these live streams. So if you notice that, I would recommend you write that down, the things that you hear repeated time and time again, because more often than not, they will probably apply to your own channel. So just because your channel isn't getting audited does not mean you can't take some of this advice and apply it to your own situation.
It might be a hint into your mindset if you're not getting chosen for a channel review. That could be an indication that you're too concerned about you, yourself, your channel, what views I'm going to get, what subscribers I'm going to get, as opposed to the impact it has on your audience. So this channel audit session is not about shout outs. Just because we have 1 million subscribers does not mean that you are going to get thousands of views and hundreds of subscribers because we share your channel. Because in truth, people don't necessarily care who is being audited. They should care about the value that's being shared by all of us to then apply to your own channels. So with those thoughts being shared, before we go into our first channel, let's take a look at who submitted on the form yesterday when the live stream went public. And that channel goes by the name of Classy and Simple. They have a very simple channel banner. We don't know how classy they are until we look at their thumbnails, titles, etc. Viper, opening thoughts and impressions for this channel.
Okay, so we got a short about a bathroom transformation. We got a short about coffee. Before
Kittens.
and after, whatever that means.
Kittens.
Kitten. So it seems like channel focus has not been determined yet for this particular creator. So that will be my first piece of advice. Although some of these shorts down here on the second row are doing quite well. Let's see.
I'll get back to that, Viper. There's something really interesting going on there, but I'll get back to that in like a minute or two.
Okay. But yeah, I would say my first thought is we need to define some type of channel focus, because right now the channel seems to be all over the place. So and maybe you're brand new and you're just starting your journey. I don't know that, but at some point you're going to have to narrow down what you want this channel to be about so people can resonate with it. Go ahead, Rob.
Dan, would you share those sentiments? Just generally speaking, in terms of channel focus?
I would have to see the shorts. Like I want to agree on the surface. I definitely agree. It seems like so many different topics, but if they're all under the umbrella of like, high class lifestyle, you could imagine a channel where it's like, I bought the most expensive kitten I could. I bought the most expensive chandelier I could. Like somebody who just is into like the finer things in life. And just by these tiny little thumbnails, I'm seeing a lot of like hints that this person could be that kind of person. Like they're an influencer because they're just really showcasing like all sorts of things that would appeal to somebody who has a little bit of extra cash that they're looking to spend. But I don't know. Like I'm only going off surface level details here.
Interesting. Right. So let's get to this question, Viper, of the views actually look really interesting and surprising and tasty, except for these last 2 videos, which haven't done very well in the first 24 hours. But I'm wondering if there's a particular curious and interesting YouTube hack that this creator is maybe exploiting or at least experimenting with. And let me show you what I mean. I'm going to play this video about, do you prefer cats or dogs? All right.
Yeah.
So, right. So I'm going to mute it. And that's how long the short is.
Ah.
Look at how quickly this short just like loops over once. I mean, I've probably seen the short now already 5 times, 6 times. And it's just a very simple question. Do you prefer cats or dogs? So my assumption here is the audience retention is through the roof, 300, 400%. And I'm wondering if that's triggering the YouTube recommendation system to try and share this with loads of people. Now, my question here is, it looks as if this channel is able to replicate this success. You know, we have one here, which is 12,000 views. Do you dress up? And the short is what, 4 seconds, 5 seconds long? It's another question. They're getting tons of views, but the questions themselves don't look as if they're getting much engagement. Like 46 comments there. How adorable is this kitten? Dan obviously finds that very adorable, but only 17 comments.
I don't like how they're holding the kitten.
From 10,000 views.
The other thing, Rob, is that I don't think the channel is getting many subscribers from this type of content either.
Indeed. So I guess my question here is that, has a creator found some really interesting, unique YouTube hack of doing incredibly short shorts that loop over, and they're going to start to build quite a bit of momentum here? Or are these just hollow, you know, very low value views that ultimately aren't going to get the creator anywhere in the long term? And I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer here. I'm just wondering about the conversation of, is this the case of a channel's chasing views and they're getting views, but ultimately what's the end result of all of this?
So I have a thought about this. So recently on Twitter and other places, I've been engaging in conversation with different people about how short creators have a hard time building an audience, like an audience that they can bond with because of the length of their content. It just doesn't lend itself to you, a viewer, being able to build a strong bond with the creator when 4 seconds and they're out of there and they're on to the next short. So if a creator has indeed found a hack to make the videos loop and get more views, that's cool. But again, that's not translating into subscriber count because the content is so short that it does not give the viewer enough time to care about that creator. So you can do that. And like Rob said, you could potentially chase views if that's what you're doing. I don't know. But if that's what you're doing, you can chase the views. But your subscriber count is not going to do much because you're not giving the people a chance to get to know you.
I agree with that. I think, especially with this kind of approach to a shorts channel, right? Where they, you know, it's just, they're so short that you don't even have a chance to get anyone to know who you are. You're just kind of showing something cool or adorable or interesting. And that's going to get a lot of views. But if your goal, if you're coming to us and saying, well, how can I get like a real groundswell underneath my channel? I would say that, yeah, Viper's dead on there. Like you have to like build that bond somehow with the viewer. And one example, there's a lot of examples on TikTok, but one example in my mind right now, I wish I remembered their name. There's this incredible TikTok creator who basically cooks recipes from like the oldest cookbooks and stuff they can find, right? Like that, their whole channel is them just cooking these recipes, and they make fun. They're really funny. And like, as they're showing you how to make these recipes, they're just making fun of the ingredients. And then by the end of the short, they like try it. The whole channel's that. And the videos are really short and they're really engaging. And I have a good memory of this creator now because I've watched so many of their TikToks. And I feel like on YouTube Shorts, because like we've seen so many channels like this that seem like they're, like Rob said, chasing views, quote unquote. I'm not seeing that same level of consistency. I think with shorts, you can build a bond with the viewer if you put yourself in the video and if you do something consistent. Like that TikTok channel I was talking about only does that. They just cook stuff. And they cook funny, wacky things from really old. They'll find like an old magazine from like the 1940s, and they'll be like, "There's a recipe in here for, you know, something," and like some kind of weird pudding or something like that. And they'll make it exactly how it's written, and they're like, "This is disgusting," or they're commentating on it. And by the end, they're actually impressed, or they're not at all. So yeah, like I feel like when you do a channel like that, you can easily build a bond. It doesn't really matter if it's shorts or long form videos at that point. But when you're doing stuff like this, you're just like, I'm just going to take my camera, my phone out into the world, and I'm just going to find stuff that's interesting and put it on my channel. yes, you can see this result of lots and lots of views. Maybe they're getting shorts payouts too. Like maybe they're making some money, which is great. It's all about goals, though. If like I said, if this creator wants more subscribers, then subscribers come from building that bond with somebody. You need a few videos that someone's going to watch from you before they subscribe, and they need to be consistent. People need to feel like they're going to get something really awesome every single video you post for them to hit that button.
There's an example like a before and an after, and we speak about how short a video could potentially be with this, but is this too short? Is this almost like a living, breathing thumbnail,
right,
as opposed to video content in itself?
To piggyback off of Dan's point, Rob, Dan, and everybody in the chat, I'll ask all of you all, how many videos from a creator do you watch or will you watch before you hit that subscribe button? I'll just throw out my own anecdote here. So I told you guys I'm subscribed to this channel called Dead Meat, and they're a big time horror movie reviewer creator type deal. I must to watch maybe 10 or 15 videos before I hit subscribe, even though the content was like amazing and I kept binging it, but I still did not hit that subscribe button until probably 15 videos in. So I'm curious, how many videos do you watch from a creator before y'all hit the button?
Yeah, I need a few personally. I definitely need a few. So B. Dylan Hollis.
I never subscribe, just to answer that, because I just trust YouTube's recommendation system. I trust that the next time I go into YouTube homepage, they're going to share that video with me again.
I usually I'll let the homepage do it for me. However, sometimes I find a video from someone and I can tell based on the recommendations I'm getting from them that they make a lot of similar stuff. I'll subscribe just if I know I'm not going to be on YouTube very much longer. I'll subscribe to make sure I don't lose them. So subscriptions to me is like a tool in that sense. So if you wanted to look up, apparently they're on YouTube too. B. Dylan Hollis. That's the cooking channel, and be a good example of how to do YouTube shorts or content that is going to be consistent. I don't know what they're doing exactly on YouTube. It looks like they do some long form, but here's their shorts too. I'm sure it's just like their TikToks repurposed.
From 1966. What's more American than bologna and cake? Eating it. Pack of cream cheese. A tablespoon of onion powder. Plus 2 tablespoons.
I think this is a channel my wife is watching.
It's very popular.
And she says she's got a bit of a crush on him. So this is my new threat in life.
But it's
start flagging his videos.
You see what I mean, though, right? Like,
it's
very, very engaging. They don't need more than a minute to do the entire video, and it's just about them. They're just doing something interesting that if this was scrolling by on your shorts feed, this person's already telling you before you can swipe away. They're already telling you what they're going to do. And if you're trying to build up a community around you, this is how you do it. I'm not saying you cook old recipes. I'm saying you find your version of this and you're in the video and you bring your personality and your sense of humor, if that's what it is, whatever you can to it. It's cool to see that they're on YouTube being very successful as well.
So we got into quite a deep and meaningful conversation beyond Classy and Simple's channel, but something that's relevant to all creators in terms of not only gaining views, but what does that view mean to both the creator and the audience in terms of building the community over a long period of time? And we just question whether these shorts have a potential and the power to do that. But some interesting stuff here from a creator mindset point of view. And with that first non-gaming channel, we move to our first gaming channel that's submitted in the forms, and they called themselves Rude Boy with a 3 Gaming Studios ZW. A couple of references there that I do not understand. But Dan, we have a channel with 4,830 subscribers, and the last few videos that they published in the last day have 17 views, 12 views, 9 views, 13 views, 8 views. That feels like a cause for concern for this channel's current health in terms of audience.
That would be a cause for concern for my YouTube mental health. I'd be very upset. Could I see their most popular? Let's see what happens.
I knew you were going to ask that.
Well, what? You didn't want to look?
All right.
All right.
The answer becomes very obvious when you do that.
Well, yeah, sorry. Sorry, I ruined it for you. So Detroit Become Human might be the name of the game here. It comes up in every title.
Yeah.
Lot of views here, and they all have the same exact title, but it looks like something different happening in each one. It also looks like cutscenes.
I think you're correct. I think they are just cutscenes with no transformation on them.
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah. So we have to disregard these, unfortunately, because
I
now
think so. Yeah.
they've tried to pivot from this,
Wow.
which was doing
Well,
very well,
How many
to
did they do?
my goodness. They're at
So
it for
you've
months.
got probably. I mean, even the ones below that are cutscenes as well. But you have, at a guess, 5 million views, maybe more,
Yeah.
of Detroit Becoming Human cutscenes.
Millions and hundreds of thousands of views. So here's the thing. This is what happens if you continue down the strategy of, hey, these shorts are doing really well and I'm getting subscribers. Now, when you try to go into the long form realm on YouTube and you're like, I want an actual channel now, I want people to watch me for me, it's a different channel. It's basically a whole new thing now, assuming this is not just videos of more cutscenes, the long form videos. I'm going to assume that these are like clips that you've transformed in some way of you playing the game. Maybe you got some cool kills in Rainbow Six or something and you wanted to show them off. Your personality starts to shine through and you're getting 10 views, 8 views. You kind of have to start, you have to think of your channel as when you do this as like a clean slate. You're appealing to a whole different segment of YouTube now. You're out of the short shelf in a lot of these and you're just on your own, sort of. So now it becomes about the age-old question, like, how do I grow my gaming channel? You want to be bringing value to people in some shape or form. That could be giving tips and tricks about the game, doing tutorials. That could also be just being excellent at the game or being terrible at the game and then playing it up in a funny way. There's so many ways you can like bring value, whether it's entertainment value or educational value, but none of the titles and thumbnails here, these could be amazing videos, but none of the titles and thumbnails are helpful in that end too. So I don't know what I'm going to get when I click on these. So Jack Baker is Unhinged, part 6. Character in game is adjective, part number. Like, what? Okay, but like, why should I click on? Like, what's going to happen? You know, you said they're unhinged, but the title doesn't. It shows their face, but it doesn't like show me how they're unhinged. If they were like holding a weapon and they were, you know, standing over a kitten, then I would think that was pretty unhinged, and I might click on that video to see what's going to happen next. But there's just no intrigue here.
More importantly, Dan, why is Walter White in Resident Evil 7?
It kind of, I was going to say, it kind of looks like Walter White, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
do continue.
They're playing a lot of different games. So even if that video is amazing and it has enough intrigue and people are starting to click on it, it is a live stream. You know, the next video isn't about the same video game. And so now you're asking people to follow you along on this journey of like, I'm going to try all my favorite games and I'm just going to do the name of the game and a part number basically and hope that people watch.
If you're going to do variety content like this creator is doing, you have to do it in some type of order. And I'll use myself as an example. So on my channel, I've been doing mostly Samsung content for the past week or so because they just released their new phones. Tomorrow is iPhone announcement day. So you're going to see a lot of iPhone content moving forward because now we're into iPhone season. So you can kind of do variety content per se, but you want to keep it in some type of order. You just don't want to go back and forth. Because then you confuse the viewer and then like, what are we doing here? They don't know. So that's my thought.
You cover iPhones, like, but right now I'm in Android world. However, I'm never fully out of iPhone world. I would entertain a new iPhone. So I think your videos have in value to somebody who's looking for a new phone, regardless of which side of that divide they might fall on. Like, you could definitely carve something out there. But gaming is so different. Like, there's going to be a bunch of fans of these games, and like these might be the same type of game. Like, hey, you said I could play whatever game I want if it was the same type of game. Technically you could, but like Viper, I think what you're kind of getting at, there's like a through line. There's something that kind of connects these videos together. I always go to the example of Let's Game It Out, who every video is like basically he's playing a different game every single time, but the through line is the way he plays the game. He seeks to break that game. He seeks to bring it to its knees. He seeks to almost embarrass the game developers. And that's why I watch. It doesn't matter what he plays. So you have to have something there for people to grasp, to latch onto, where they're like, oh man, this channel is like, I see what they're doing. After watching one video, they can see what you're doing. And yeah, we're seeing some crazy stats here.
So the stats here are showing that views have fallen off a cliff. My assumption for that is because there was a lot of people watching these Detroit shorts, and you were posting a lot of videos, presumably almost like every cutscene maybe from that video game over the last 3 months is my guess. You're still making 77 videos a month, which is a lot, but I know a lot of them will be shorts. I don't like to use this word, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Do you think this channel's current content is ruined by the legacy of the content that's on the channel?
Yes.
And then the follow-up question is, should the creator unlist that content or start a new channel that focuses on what they're doing now? Because with 13 views, 8 views, 6 views, etc., the sub count to me is irrelevant. It might as well be 10 subscribers for the channel.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, depending on how old the channel is and how much data the algorithm has behind the channel, they might be able to get away with unlisting the non-relevant content and just starting fresh that way instead of starting an entire new channel. But if
10 million views, right there. 10 million views.
Okay, never mind. Yep, you're going to have to, you might go move on to a new channel at this point.
It's like anything, though, isn't it? Like, are those videos bringing in people today?
I'd see the problem is I don't think there's a way to look at shorts in now the traditional desktop player to check vidIQ's statistics.
Yeah,
I think there might be, but I can't remember how to do it.
We saw the views fall off a cliff, though. We can assume that they're not doing what they used to do.
Yeah, maybe if I do by last 6 months.
So YouTube did a change recently where shorts will now help with your recommendations into long form videos. And so, in fact, if your shorts are bringing in the wrong audience, that's going to matter now when you pivot to long form content. So when someone watches these shorts, YouTube will say, hey, do you like the long form videos from Rude Boy Gaming? And they might not. And now the click-through rate on these long form videos is, down the toilet. No one's clicking on them. And so YouTube's not recommending them. So it really, really is super important to be consistent when you're trying to grow a channel. You can certainly have videos that are one-offs that take off and just kind of fly on their own. But people come to us because they want to like build up this, like I said earlier, groundswell of people under them. They want a community around their channel. And that's why we preach so hard for channel consistency and channel focus, because if you want a community of people who are going to subscribe and stay viewers of you, then you need to give them something that they can depend on. You shouldn't be topic jumping so much.
So I know we spent over half an hour there just talking about 2 different channels, the first to be audited, but I think there's some really interesting questions for creators as a whole that we tried to tackle there. So we don't apologize for spending a bit of time, not necessarily auditing the channels themselves, but the questions that they raise for all content creators. But we'll now move on to our next channel, and they go by the name of Talentless Cooking, which should definitely appeal to me, being one of those to the extreme. Viper, I think this was your pre-selected one. Tell us a little bit more about this channel.
I'm actually hoping you could tell me about the channel, because I'm not understanding what's going on with these views. Like, if you go to the most popular, or you talk about most popular, the channel has success. They have some videos that have hit.
All right.
But if you look at their most recent videos, they are just not doing nothing. And I just can't, I don't know why. Like, I've looked through the content and nothing is really changing the way they present the content. My first thought was that if you're telling me, or you're testing food, and I don't know, this is more of a video review than a channel audit, but if you're testing food, I need to see some type of emotional response on your face, but this person does not show their face at all.
Right.
But they've done that before and gotten thousands of views, so it's not that. So I don't know why the channel's not getting the views that they've gotten beforehand. The thumbnails are decent in my opinion. I don't know, Rob. I'm lost.
So what I spotted when I was briefly looking at it is that they have this theme throughout a lot of their videos, but not all of their videos, where it's Canadian tries blank food. All right. And some of the videos don't have that titling structure, like faster than the box tacos. So there's 2 different formats there. Which one works the most? And we sorted by most popular. And as you say, some of these really, well, a couple of them resonated quite well. And what I suspected is that it's when the Canadian tries something that's really popular in another Western country that maybe you don't find anywhere else. So like Branston pickle, for example. Do you know what that is?
Never heard of it
No.
until I did.
Okay, so this is something in the UK. It's disgusting. Like, don't try it ever. Right?
Okay.
But it's a type. I think it's a type of spread, and it's very popular in the UK. So maybe a lot of UK people found it interesting. And then there's this Canadian tries Jollibee items for the first time. I don't know what that is. Is that what cuisine is that? I feel as if there needs to be more accessibility to the things that they try. Like Tim Tams, for example. That's a very famous Australian biscuit. You've got these Walker's crisps that are very popular in the UK, but they're basically Lay's crisps in North America. Bees on toast is like another good one that you've kind of tried there. And then Viper, I agree with you in that usually we would say that the star of the channel when it's food is the food itself. But because you're bringing this emotional reaction element into it, I think it's also important to have some form of reaction, whether it be text or whether it be an emotional facial reaction to the food in the thumbnails as well. And on top of that, I wouldn't necessarily class these as food thumbnail porn, which is what you expect in the food thumbnail space. You know, but the food, it doesn't really jump out of a screen. It's not a pop or a saturation on the thumbnails.
Right.
I have gone into quite a long monologue there. So, Dan, if there's anything else to add, or have I unfortunately stolen every thought about this channel?
You definitely went over. I would say the points that jumped out to me. I think their thumbnails, as of lately, have a little more saturation to them. But now it's the actual like focus of what I'm supposed to be looking at in the frame. If we're just taking pictures of food, there's a lot to see. There's a lot in focus. So I would be trying to reframe my thumbnails. Like even the taco one, like it's just the taco, but it's from such a weird angle that you almost don't know it's a taco from a quick scroll by. It could just be like a weird bowl of salad that was tipped over. So I would work on thumbnails ultimately, and I would test putting myself in the thumbnails, giving a reaction, like an initial reaction. I'd be looking at other food reaction channels. I also think there's an opportunity here just for the videos themselves to really like embrace the travel aspect of this channel. Like you're always trying foods from a different place. So, you know, like here, there we go. Just as I'm saying it, like there's flags in the background to just try and like send that message of like, this food is from here and I am from here, you know?
Yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to approach this. Yeah.
And then Canadian tries, you may want to just like do that as a search term. And then find out what other. I mean, you rank here for one of those things, but like, what else could you try? Is there anything that Canadians could try that's just not available in Canada that's very popular in the US and so on and so forth? I think there's an accessibility question here, and I think you need to first of all start off with the most popular things that you could try that aren't necessarily available in Canada but are elsewhere.
Like if you were to imagine a chef tries series where like a master chef tries really like weird, crappy food, you know, maybe they just go on a binge of like the worst fast food places they can find. Like I would want to see the chef in the thumbnails. I want to see them next to the Taco Bell that they're about to go eat for the first time or something. You know, like that's what I'm imagining here with a so-and-so tries blank kind of channel. Like I think it's really important you try out putting you in these thumbnails.
Let's watch one of these for the first 20 seconds.
It says Skip. The chapter's name is Skip.
Interesting.
What is up, gangsters? Today we are trying Japanese snacks. These are tiger crackers. These are otter crackers. And these are Colby Pringles lookalikes. Looks like it's a fried chicken flavored chip. It does.
Okay, what do we think to the intro here? Are we getting excited, or should we skip? Should we literally skip that intro?
It's like I told you guys before, like if you're doing a food reaction video, and this might just be a personal peeve of mine, but if you're doing a food reaction video, I need to see your face because I need to see how your face looks when you put it in your mouth. I need that emotional connect. And this person never shows their face. So we're just left to whatever sound they make when they're tasting the food. It's just, I don't know. It's definitely different.
I think that's a fair comment.
Yeah.
Dan, what about you?
Intro wise, I saw what they were trying to do. They were trying to like wrestle open the box, you know, and I think that's interesting, but I think it needed some music or something like to get us in
Yeah.
the mood. Like, oh, this is going to be a funny video or a somber video. You know what I mean? Like, the music can really set the tone here. And when your chapter title for your first chapter is literally skip, but then in the chapter you start saying what we're doing today, I'm kind of wondering what's going on here. Like now I'm just confused. Like you put this much value in your chapter in terms of what you called it, but then it started to explain what was happening. So I'm like, wait, should I have skipped or should I have been here? Because I don't know what we're trying today. So the chapter, I got really hung up on that, but it's kind of a mindset thing, less a strategy thing. Like if you feel that way about your chapter 1, then make it so that people don't want to skip. That's just less watch time for you if they skip. So make a better chapter 1, you know, and go out and figure out what you can do. And yes, I feel like a faceless food tasting channel. This is one of those examples where, you know, sometimes people are like, should I put my face in my videos? I don't know. And we're like, not necessarily all the time. This is one of those examples where I would say, no, this one kind of I need a person. Like, I don't know who disagrees with me. I'm sure they do, but I kind of need someone to, you know, if you're trying to build up that community, like we're talking about a lot today, like I need to like grasp onto somebody.
I've just noticed this comment here, which is really interesting. And they're saying, this is making me hungry. Turn it off. And they're joking about it. But I actually think the opposite here, in that channels about food should make you hungry. And I just feel through the presentation of a content and the video production, this isn't making me hungry.
It's not making me hungry either. No,
It's not giving me these vibes of I should definitely try and eat this or not try and eat this. Also, I think from a production standpoint here, I appreciate that you may not have good lighting, so you're using a window to light the table. That's fine. But there's no excuse for having that there or these boxes here and this mug. And it just, you know, there's all of these distractions on the table.
Yeah.
And I just feel as if you could do a bit more set design there and make the video more appealing that way as well.
Yeah.
So why did we just jump into the video for 20 seconds and critique it? Dan, why would that be?
Well, that was just a taste, if you will.
Nice pun.
Of tomorrow's live stream, where we're going to do that over and over and over and over and over again. We're going to actually talk about your first few seconds. We're going to talk about how we can get it so people don't click off your videos. We want to find videos tomorrow that make it impossible for us to stop watching them. And if we feel like there could be some improvements, that's the kind of recommendations we're going to give you. So that stream starts at the same time this one did, just tomorrow instead of today.
As well as checking in on Viper's tweets about the iPhone 14.
That too.
Next channel we're going to look at here is Star Strike. And just from the channel banner, I deduce that MLP means My Little Pony, theories, reviews, and lots of stupid. All right. We'll always sign up to stupid on our channel. Dan, I think this was one that you picked, right?
Yeah. This one popped up in the in our forum, and I grabbed it because I was very impressed to see the progress that they're making from only having 4,000 subscribers. Their last video, which was a month ago, they've taken a break, has 28,000 views.
Wow. Cool. Very nice.
Yeah. Now, I don't know anything about My Little Pony. I'm pretty sure it's a show, and I'm pretty sure that there's a huge fan base around it, obviously, with the views we're seeing on this channel. And they must be really focused in giving some very fresh perspectives because they're just getting so many views, so many videos over their subscriber count. Taking a month off is a bit concerning to me, but my thought is if it's a TV show we're talking about, not like a video game, maybe it's the season break right now.
Right.
Like, you know, we could be between seasons and therefore, yeah, there's not a lot of content to analyze. But if you look just on the second row, 3 months ago, there were videos posted. And so like, I feel like maybe this channel just doesn't upload a whole lot in general. But I feel like a month break, like they definitely upload multiple times in 1 month. And I feel like taking a month off, something's going on there. I'm not quite sure what.
So let's ask the question here. Like, when they come back to YouTube, assuming they are because they've submitted their channel for auditing, do you think that the next video that they release has to be almost like a flagship video? And what I mean by that is that sometimes you put in a bit of extra effort and time because you want one particular video to jump out, or you think you know it's going to be a good one, so you spend some more time on it. do you think that in order to re-engage this audience who have now had opportunities to find other content about My Little Pony, they've got to try and re-engage a big audience with our next video, or do they just need to get back into the cadence of posting content? And I asked that because Nate from Channel Makers posted an interesting video today about how often you should publish. And also, Viper, you've been having discussions with Todd, the YouTube employee, on Twitter, and he posted a tweet in response to one of our videos recently about upload schedules, saying that you don't really need to worry about upload schedule more so. It's just, unless you're testing, it's like, make sure that the value of a video that you're making is as high as possible to engage you. I'm going to try and find that tweet, Dan, as you maybe answer that really long question that I just asked you that I've forgotten what the question was.
So, yeah, as I was trying to unmute myself, I muted you for a second. So I even lost some context in this part of the conversation. So it's been a mess. I do think that a flagship video is what I would be aiming for, since you're already taking some time off. Those videos take a little bit longer to produce, generally speaking. I think going and like just making another one of those is probably your best bet. I don't want to interrupt you, Rob, if you're...
No, carry on. I'm trying to find the tweet.
So that would be my first recommendation. And I noticed flagship video-wise in that channel seems to be when they talk about the show as a whole. So they have videos that we saw on the channel about characters and specific things that the characters are doing. And then they had videos that were about the show as a whole. And it looked like at quick glance, those videos did a lot better. And so that's what I would consider your flagship content, is to talk about, your next video should be about the actual show and have that broadest reach among the fan base.
So this is what Todd said about posting schedules. Yeah, not setting a goal around number of uploads, but more once you find your audience, you could spend days, weeks, months making the best video for that audience. So there's a big hint in there about target audience and channel focus.
So just for some context, I have posted this question about if people have if our Twitter followers and viewers had an upload goal, because you know some creators have upload goals, and this was Todd's answer, which I agree with to a point. But then you get to the old quantity versus quality argument. When you're a new creator, you don't know what quality is. So in order to figure out what quality is, at least to you, you got to upload more. So I think when you're first starting out, quantity is probably going to be your best friend, just so you figure out what quality is. And once you figure out what quality is, then yeah, maybe minimize the upload, try to make the best video possible. But as a new creator, you don't know what that is. So you got to put stuff out there. You got to make stuff.
I think there's also the 80-20 argument here, in that you could get a video to 80% of your maximum quality relatively quickly, but to get that extra 20% may require an exceedingly long amount of time to get there. And so is it better to spend all of that time making the video a little bit better, or then moving on to the next video where you can create a high quality one, but not a high quality? But you know, this is going to be the often the argument and the conversation between, I guess, the analytic and the gatekeeper of the algorithm versus the creator's mindset, skills, and goals. It's a really interesting conversation.
There's so many ways to look at it, and there's really no right answer. That's the thing about YouTube. People come to us wanting to know the path to grow on YouTube. And there is not one path. There's so many. Like, so for me, I scaled back last month on my uploads for my channel, and I got less views. That's just what happened. I scaled up last month. So the month prior, I scaled back. I scaled up last month. I got way more views because I posted more content. I took more shots at the target. But ultimately, I don't have a lot of time to make these super high value, in-depth videos. I just know what's going to get me some views kind of like real quick. And I know those videos aren't going to last very long, and they're just going to kind of die off. But I feel like a channel like this, like 28,000 views, the video is probably still getting views today. Yeah. And it's probably like this really well thought out conversation, and it probably transcends like seasonality. You know, people could click on this at any time and they could get value from it. So this video could just kind of keep going for like a really long time. And I think that is strategy. I think so. If you're going to make videos that kind of have this long tail on them and they just keep getting views for a long time, you can afford to upload once a month and then still feed your family, quote unquote, like have your videos get enough views to really sustain your channel. or you can go for these quick wins, and there's nothing wrong either way. Like Let's Game It Out as an example again, uploads like once a month, millions of views. All the videos, when you watch them, you realize how much time they take. It takes a long time to make those videos, and they're doing fantastic. I'm sure they get millions of views every month on their channel by uploading basically once a month.
Now, I don't care what type of channel you are, whether you are a My Little Pony video essay channel, or you're a gaming channel, or you're a tech channel. This right here is a fantastic template of how to make good, solid, clickable thumbnails. Because there's a formula here, and we'll look a little bit at this formula. If you're going to use text, make it big, make it very readable, maybe have some subtle differences between each text, and not repeat the title. That's what they're doing here. The hero of the thumbnail, be a character, a product, should be big. It should fill as much of the screen as possible and evoke some sort of emotional reaction. These My Little Ponies certainly do that. The background should not interfere with the foreground. It should add maybe a bit of color. It should not be something that your eyes focus on. And in this case, the creator has blurred the backgrounds. And you could do this for any topic following this formula. So I just want to say, in terms of thumbnail design, these are excellent. Very, very good.
Absolutely.
And other than that, like, what else do we suggest other than creator? We would like you to return to YouTube on a regular basis.
I think that's the big thing.
And continue what you're doing going forward. I guess what I would maybe suggest is with some of your titles, they are a little long. So some of them are being contracted, with the ellipses. Check out Jake Thomas's tweets, or some of the videos we've made with Jake Thomas, or on vidIQ Max, he did a full session on this. I'm feeling there may be some title opportunities for you to maybe experiment with. But generally speaking, in terms of view counts, subscriber count, it's all very healthy, all very good. Mm-hmm. We're just going to the lowest common denominator here, which is where are you right now? We would like to see you return to YouTube.
I got one quick nitpick.
Yep.
For your thumbnails, you got to remember to avoid the YouTube timestamp. It is always in the same place, no matter what type of no matter what type of thumbnail you upload. The YouTube timestamp is going to be in the bottom right. So you don't want to put any text down there or anything that's important down there. Now, for these thumbnails, it's not really doing too much, but it looks kind of tacky if you have text running into the YouTube timestamp. So just be careful to avoid that.
All right. Good stuff there. Very quickly, the thumbnails evolved into this style, and it's been succeeding ever since. All right. We briefly mentioned there vidIQ Max. So let's talk a little bit about vidIQ Max. We've had a couple of interesting conversations here about this YouTube Shorts hack. We've also talked about gaming channels using cutscenes to build their channel and they're not sure where they're going to go next. We've talked about thumbnail templates. These are all brief 1 or 2 minute conversations before we have to move on to the next thing. But if you are a member of vidIQ Max, then you can do that to your heart's content 24/7 in the Discord channel. It is amazing. We have hundreds of people in there now. And what is even more fascinating about all of this is that we do have the coaches in there, Jeff, Travis, and Alexi. And they're giving their wisdom, knowledge, and experience. But also what you learn from other creators and how much they're involved in the collective learning process is incredible. And I just wanted to quickly screenshot a few of these conversations. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to read all of these, but basically, somebody just joined vidIQ Max, and they were asking the question, how many videos should I post when I first launch my channel? And this question here gave the following responses, like, you should probably launch 2 or 3 videos at exactly the same time, which is an interesting strategy because it means that if a viewer enjoys your very first video, then they already have something else to watch on your channel. So, we usually say don't post all of your videos at the same time. When you're a new channel, that might be different. And then the question got on to copyright. And how can I do video essays about companies, maybe using their logos and perhaps some of their signature jingles and not get in trouble? And then there was feedback here about how Disney may be different to Dairy Queen, and Power Dragon, who's one of our OGs at vidIQ Max, offering his advice as well. So all of this conversation, and there's, you know, people are spending 20, 30 minutes thinking about how they're going to reply to these comments. That's the type of love and community and support you get in Discord vidIQ Max. But we don't also only just have a Discord channel. We have bi-weekly, if not more, sessions where we talk about copyright from an expert. We just showed here Todd. Todd did a Q&A on the YouTube algorithm for an hour, and now through his own volition, he just sits there in the background listening to all of our conversations and just jumping in occasionally and offering his I guess insider knowledge.
I was gonna say, Rob, like
channel.
Todd is also in our Discord for vidIQ Max. He sits there in the Discord answering questions. So we have actual YouTube employees in the vidIQ Max Discord too. It's kind of crazy.
We've been running vidIQ Max since the beginning of the year, and we do sessions at least every other week. So now we now have, I think, about 20 plus sessions. Imagine going to a conference and having all of these speakers. You can turn up and watch all of them 24/7 whenever you want to, on top of a Discord. Some of you are getting to that point where you have monetized your channel. 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time. And it sometimes feels like here at vidIQ, in the free content that we offer you, we kind of get you to that step and then a little bit beyond. But if you want to really take your business to the next level, and you should be treating your YouTube channel as a business once you start to monetize it, then this is where vidIQ comes into play. And we have an incredible offer going on right now. It's kind of your back to school invitation to vidIQ Max. You're seeing a promo code running along the bottom of the screen here, but it's also in the video description. Let me just check that is the case. It is. There is a link in the video description that will automatically apply a discount, which is as follows. If you purchase an annual subscription to vidIQ Max, you get a whopping 30% off the full price that you would pay for a monthly subscription to vidIQ Max, which equates to around about $300 off of what you would pay if you were just joining for 12 months on a monthly subscription. It's a credible offer. We've already seen so many comments in vidIQ Max saying, why wasn't this here when I started YouTube? Or this has already paid for itself. Check it out in the link in the video description. We appreciate your time for allowing us to indulge ourselves in talking about the next stage of some creators' journeys. But we also know that many of you are still not monetized or you can't afford it. That's why we do these channel audits every Tuesday and these video reviews every Wednesday and all of the videos on top. But if you are ready for that next stage, then vidIQ Max may be where you want to take your education. Let's move on to another channel, shall we? Or are we? Any more to add there?
I know I was gonna say before we move on real quick. And we understand that you all are in a position. You might not necessarily be in a position where you can afford something like vidIQ Max, and that's totally fine. We offer a bunch of free content right here on the YouTube channel. These live streams still happen every Tuesday, Wednesday, so that's not going to change. We're not going anywhere. We're still going to offer you all the free content that we've been offering you, and you can still have access to that. But like Rob said, when you are ready to go to that next level where you can be in a place surrounded by like-minded peers who are just as serious about it as you are, vidIQ Max is there for you. So there you go.
Consultants will charge you $500 to $1,000
easily.
And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them valuing what they think is worth. And, you know, for those who can afford it, they probably get tons of value out of it. But there is, I think, a stepping stone between a content creator who can't afford to pay for anything versus getting a consultation with a certified expert. And I think that's where vidIQ comes into play, that we start to offer that coaching, but we also have peer-to-peer learning, and we also have all of those sessions for you to check out. And with that being said, let's move on to another channel, that we can audit for free in this channel audit. They call themselves Jackson Sackett, I believe. And they're telling us to get outside. They are a new YouTuber. They've been on the platform for a month. So I'm already seeing some very positive signs here. 200 subscribers plus. One video has at least 1,000 views. Some shorts are getting good traction as well. Dan, I'll start with you here. What are your initial thoughts?
I think in terms of topic, like for each video, this person has something down. Like they are getting things figured out. So learning to make fire like a caveman. They got, you know, an arrow. They have like hour 9 in the corner, like some interesting things in the thumbnail. But the topic itself, like that's what I'm really focused on, the title. And then the latest long form video, building a survival shelter in a thunderstorm. So like thing I'm doing with some stakes involved. You know what I mean? And the shots they're getting, you could tell really like skilled videographer here. Oh my goodness.
That's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't hold that view for much longer, because I'm done. Okay, that was fine.
Boom. Yep.
Yep.
And we're seeing the finished product too. So we're seeing like a lot of really, really strong things. So really strong start to YouTube as a whole. 1,700 views without even having like 10 videos yet. Like who here wouldn't want that on their channel, right?
Isn't
like,
that cool? Sorry to interrupt, but like,
yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any narration in this. But in terms of storytelling, just this moment where he goes into a forest and is looking around with his axe, without telling us, it's showing us like what can I make from all of the stuff that's around me with the equipment I have in my hand. And that's just like a really interesting visual way of storytelling there. I loved it.
Modern day MacGyver going on right here, man.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
So we're seeing somebody here that like has really planned out their YouTube journey, right? Like they have some experience. They've probably been watching some videos like this. They've probably been like getting educated on YouTube. Maybe they have other channels in the past. So my focus right now in terms of advice, I think they're consistent in the way they're posting. I think they're doing things that are, you know, very interesting. I think they have an interesting skill set they're taking advantage of, and they're really good at making videos, as we saw. I think thumbnails would be my next focus for them. Yeah. And they're not even bad. I don't want anyone to take me wrong here. Like these are good thumbnails. They're highly serviceable thumbnails. They're doing fine. But I think this is where I'd be looking to improve. So when I see learning to make fire like a caveman, I imagine a totally different thumbnail in my head with still them and some fire, but more zoomed in. Maybe the fire's kind of in front of them and they're behind it, so you can fit more of the two subjects in the thumbnail. You still have maybe like hour 9 in the corner, and maybe the fire's not doing too good, and maybe there's now you can see their face and the whites in their eyes, and they're looking disappointed at this fire. Like you can imagine like different things you could do with a thumbnail like that. And then the latest one, like the shelter is there and it looks cool, and I like that they're sitting in it, but it's kind of far away. Like it's a great photo. Like that's a fantastic photo, but for a thumbnail, I feel like we could have zoomed in a little bit more and gotten a little bit like more texture, you know?
They also teased a thumbnail, teased a thunderstorm. So I don't see it in the thumbnail. Maybe you could Photoshop it in such a way that the impending doom of this thumbnail, you know, these dark clouds are looming over the hills or something.
Yeah. So it would take some staging. It would take some time in Photoshop. I don't think it would be as easy as just using photos you took while you were out there. I think it'd be an issue of like combining them. Like, but so maybe your shelter's there, but you cut out all the background and you put the sky and it looks dark and cloudy and there's a lightning bolt, you know? So like you would have to really manipulate these, but a lot of big channels are doing that right now. And the results of their thumbnails look incredible from doing that photo manipulation. And I think I think that you're on the right side of clickbait there. All you're trying to do is visually communicate a message so that people don't have to think too hard when they find your video, right? So, you know, the thunderstorm part, you're right. Like it's completely not in the thumbnail at all. And it would have been cool if they'd like played with it a little bit more. So these are just incremental improvements. Nothing I think they should like, I don't think they should scrap what they have here. I think it's just like going forward. If you want even more views, like even faster, I think that would be like their big like homework assignment is to like figure out their thumbnails, you know, and keep improving on this.
I'm intrigued to just watch this video, just again, the first 15 to 20 seconds. I mean, in what, 2 seconds, you know, you're going to get something completely different and unique and fresh from this channel. And that's just a perfect intro, I would say. I mean, it didn't even necessarily show us anything specific. It was just action.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
That's an intro right there. Definitely.
I wonder how long it took to edit just that bit. Probably not that long to edit, but just to film all of that footage to do that. Pretty cool. So that is Jackson Sackett. He's also using shorts as well, Dan. Would we agree that probably implementing shorts into their strategy is good, given that the type of content they make, they could probably find some viral moment in one of these, especially I think with the how to make a bushcraft knife from scrap metal.
Visual content like does really well in shorts. Yeah, like this would hold my attention.
I asked myself, and it took me over a week to find out the answer.
There's a not only is the video footage is as good as the editing as well.
Yes, the music they chose works really well.
Yeah.
It's
funny what you said, Dan. A couple of minutes ago, you said maybe this isn't the creator's first channel, and there was a knowing nod there, thinking, yeah, I think you might be right here. Or they definitely have photography and filming experience.
Yeah, and this could be someone who's just doing a lot of planning, which in that case, like they're just giving themselves a leg up, you know. So yeah, there's like a lot of people that come here every week and they watch this live stream and they're trying to get as much advice as they can to improve their channels or start their channels. I just hope that at some point people are taking the education and putting it to practice. You know, because I would love to see more channels pop up like this.
Yeah, all comments I all agree with here about this channel. Definitely so. All right, I think we have another channel here that call themselves Grey Matter with a purple channel banner. That's all I'm gonna say. I think Dan, you picked this one as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us a little bit more about creating, crafting, and educating.
So in their description, they said they were a crafting channel. So I figured arts and crafts, and that is kind of what we're getting here. So yeah, in going through this channel just for a little bit before the stream today, I noticed the big thing, like there's two big things with this channel that I think could use some improvement. One would be the thumbnails. I think with an arts and crafts channel, really important to be able to communicate what it is you're crafting. You know, in some ways they do that just fine. In others, like the Jello mold video, it completely misses the mark, I think, because if you're making a video about a Jello mold, I should see the result of that. I want to see the Jello molded.
This one here, right?
Yeah.
That's all you talked about. Yeah.
So it's a second try, which is in itself intriguing. Like it tells a story of failure, but it still doesn't people have to think way too hard before clicking on it, I think, versus like some of your other thumbnails.
I'm still not sure what the final product here is, and
yeah,
what it necessarily does. I assume it's to mold jelly into certain shapes, but I'm just seeing you building, and
the video should really be ending with them like taking the stuff out of the mold.
Yeah, or starting.
Yeah,
with a tease of that.
Yeah. So there are a few like areas like that on the surface with thumbnails where some are doing better than others. I think the other thing that was a bit confusing was the types of crafts they're doing. It's a bit all over the place. Like there's stuff about sprinkles, there's Jello, but then there's like turning scrap wood into something cool. There's making a pool cue and like the little pool triangle and stuff. There's a DIY cross. There's all kinds of just different angles that are here, you know? And I don't know if you guys agree, but it just feels like, you know, I'm just going to make whatever I possibly can think of. And I feel like you can theme it a little bit more. I think you could be making things that are more consistent, like that would consistently appeal to the same kind of person. But that's where I was going to kind of leave it open to you guys to weigh in.
Yeah. What do you think, Viper? You are muted.
Yeah, that would help I hit the button. So what does Viper think? Yeah, I mean, looking at Dan, like, yeah, there's like different things happening. Yeah, sprinkles and styling swirl and exploding wood. Like, what is happening? Like, what is going on here? I don't know. Like, what is going on here?
Just check out this video afterwards, Viper, if you can, how to mute your microphone. Yeah.
No, I had the button muted on my Rodecaster, but yeah, like what is going on? Like, what is the focus of the channel? Okay, I see there's a lot going on with wood. I mean, so it looks like there's a common denominator with with them working with wood in some way, shape, or form. So I guess there's something to it. But yeah, I need some type of focus. And then the thumbnail, like you're using different colors and things. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's not too bad, but I don't know. It looks like the thumbnails are like 3 to 4 different thumbnail styles going on at once. So I need some type of consistency, at least with the thumbnails. That would be cool.
I think the picture, the captured item in the thumbnails is usually of a high standard. I think this sprinkles one, like this is nice and colorful and really zoomed in.
Yeah.
I think this one's also interesting from a color perspective, but then maybe the framing of a thumbnail. I don't understand. Is it turning those scraps into this ring? Is that what they were trying to tell me there? But these are scraps? Haha, I think not. But I feel as if there's like a couple of steps I have to try and, or dots I have to connect on that thumbnail. This one sprinkles, but what? Because there's a ring here, but I don't know what that ring's about. And it's not explained in the thumbnail. And I think what that leads into is that the titles for me just aren't very exciting. They're not creating, I think in terms of thumbnails and the titles together, are not creating enough instant curiosity. Like, what is a wood, resin, and sparkles ring? What? I don't understand what that is, because how can I wear that ring? Are you putting the sparkles on the ring? Then
I think they used
on the rings
resin to like get sprinkles in a ring. Like, so they made a using wood.
Hang on, I see it now. I've just spotted it. I've just spotted that there's actually sparkles inside the ring, but it's taken me 2 minutes to see that.
So what made that thumbnail so hard to see was the fact that it's sitting on more sprinkles.
Yeah.
When it should have been a clean background, and the ring should have been turned on its side, and you should have taken a very nice close-up image so you can see the differentiation between the wood and the resin with the sprinkles in it. Like, and then no text. Like this urge to put text on your thumbnails is really covering the end result, the thing that's going to get people to click on the videos. So I did pull up their comment a second ago. It's all resin and wood. So they are working with the same materials consistently, which is great because now we can kind of look at channels that work with resin and wood and see what they're doing with their thumbnails. And that's what you should be doing when you have some time, is go and find channels like yours, but the ones that are kind of at the top of their game right now, and figure out like, okay, what are they doing in their thumbnails that I could be doing better? Because I think when it comes to craft channels, it really is all about getting people to click on that thumbnail. Like, if you're going to make something, you need like a stellar image of it in that thumbnail. And that's what's kind of missing here. A lot of these, when you do post the image of the thing, you cover it with a big block of bold text, and it's, you know, it really makes it hard to communicate like what it is I'm going to get.
So I think what we're saying here is keep it simple, stupid. And I don't mean you, the creator, are
My
stupid.
goodness.
I'm meaning the viewer is stupid, and they're only going to give you 2 seconds of their valuable time, so to speak. And these thumbnails are not, I guess, I'm just digging a hole here, aren't I? What I was trying to say is that I'm stupid. Me, Rob Wilson, is stupid because I couldn't figure out that there were actually sprinkles in that ring for about 30 to 40 seconds. And so if you treat me as the average stupid viewer, that's the instant recognition that a viewer wants to see in a thumbnail. And then the titles on top of that really don't go into enough curious detail. And again, that's where I think doing a bit of research on Jake Thomas and how he tells you to follow formats that work and formulas that work for titles and incorporating them into your title making. Because making a part with resin and gelatin, making a part for what is this thing that you're making? How is this exciting? What does it actually do? Some of these titles are a little too functional as opposed to creating an emotional intrigue in them.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Can we ask Dan guest if they have any input?
Sorry, I got cat hair in my mouth. It's just,
has the cat returned?
Yeah. So keep it simple, stupid is one way to look at it. Another way is just like assume all of your viewers are in the biggest rush ever, and you want to stop them from like scrolling away from your video. Your video needs to, so they're looking to watch one video. Pretend, okay? You want it to be your video. So the less time you have for them to think about clicking on your video, the more time they can spend watching your video. So don't you know, stopping on it. You want them to stop the freaking scroll. That's what it's all about. So just communicate in your title and your thumbnail on no uncertain terms what people are going to get if they click on that video.
So assume all of your viewers are in a rush because they're stupid and they can't organize their time properly. That's what Dan just said. Right. One more last thing I wanted to mention here. They keep titling some of their thumbnails with preview. Is that to hint that this short is a preview of a long form piece of content? Because that's how I interpret it.
Mm.
And if that's the case,
watched, but yeah, it seems that way.
If that's the case, take out the idea of a preview. Just let the short stand on its own 2 feet and have that contain the value of what it's supposed to have, as opposed to trying to. I mean, is this trying to push you to another video?
This is a good use of the text, by the way.
The shot going on too long, would you say?
It does stand on its own 2 feet. I'm going to say that, but it does feel a little bit long.
No, you don't need this bit.
Yeah, let YouTube handle that bit for you. You know, YouTube is now going to do a better job of recommending your shorts viewers to your long form content. Let them do that. It's really hard to get someone off the short shelf once they're committed to it. So again, assume that the person watching on the short shelf has a different thing going on right now. They're not there to watch long form videos. Don't try and force long form videos on them. But I love that you showed the finished product. You let the video stand on its own. That's good. It was a bit long, in my opinion.
You know, when we look at this channel where their shorts are super short, like they were 3 seconds, this shot here was like maybe, it was about 15 seconds long. I reckon this one could be half as long. I reckon 8 to 9 seconds might be the real sweet spot for that shot. It just lingered on some of the shots for a bit too long, in my opinion. Yeah. You look like you're about to say something there, Viper. Or are we just laughing at some comments?
No, I just had a thought. We commented earlier, like you guys said, we commented about how a short was too short. We just commented about how short that particular short was too long.
Yeah.
So is there an ideal length for a YouTube short, or does it matter on the story that they're trying to tell?
No, I don't think there's an ideal length. I just think the video should be as long as it needs to be. Mm-hmm. But when we looked at these videos, they were too short and they weren't giving us enough.
Right.
Whereas these ones were far too long and giving us too much. Now, I am doing a video whereby a suggested optimal length, at least for TikToks, was between 21 and 31 seconds. You have 60 seconds to use in a short, but that doesn't mean that you should. I think you should be probably saying, I can make this video in 15 seconds and then challenge yourself to try and make it in 11 or 12 seconds so that you'll be really ruthless with the edit. And typically, although I don't have any hard data to back this up, you know, if Todd's watching, inform us on this. I reckon most shorts creators are getting at least 150% audience retention on their videos to make them successful. Those are my
short videos.
Shorts videos. Those are my opinions and speculation. What about you, Dan, in terms of length of short?
Yeah, no longer than it needs to be. And if that's a whole minute and if it's action packed and people don't feel like it's taking that long, then sure, you know. But if you're lingering on shots a really long time, like watch it back for yourself and decide, like, if I made this clip half as long, would people still get the context? You know, because I think the shorter it is, the better chance you have at that loop. And that 150% watch time comes from looping the short, you know. That's someone watching it more than once. I would say that, yeah, if you can get over 100%, like I would aim for that on all of your YouTube shorts as a goal. I wouldn't delete it if it doesn't get there. You know what I mean? But just, I would strive for, like, how can I make this as interesting as possible so people are willing to watch it maybe more than once.
I mean, I'm going to pluck some numbers out of the air here, but I'd say if your short is less than 50 seconds, then it probably needs to be more than 100% audience retention. If it's under 30 seconds, then probably 80-90%. And then if it's under a minute, probably 70 to 80% audience retention or above. But again, I'm just plucking these numbers out of the air a little bit from my experience and the probable patience and amount of time a viewer is willing to spend on a short, given how long it is.
Yeah.
Right, that is grey matter. And that brings to an end pre-selected videos, channels. We've gone over time, but I think we had some really interesting general channel audit conversations there, which weren't tied to a particular creator, but applied to the 600 plus people who are watching. But now it's time for this. You have been submitting your channels for review for the last 24 hours. And as per usual, we are oversubscribed. We have 572 non-gaming channels and 524 gaming channels.
Why, that's more than 1,000 channels.
Oh my goodness. All of those channels now are going to be put into this ball pool. And we'll make sure that all of the channels are included. So let's do 600, make sure we cover them all. And then we delve into this collection of balls and we pick out number 296 completely randomly. We take that number, we put it into this form. Thank you, Dan, for the cheap sound effects. And
we're very cheap.
We have no idea what this channel is about. This is like first impressions. Am I in the right place as a viewer? We want to know that as quickly as possible. I think in terms of comparison, sorry. In terms of comparison, Jackson Sackett, we kind of knew we were in the right place or the wrong place in terms of interesting outdoor content within 10 to 15 seconds. Do we get the same thing from Logan Zurek and his 96 subscribers? Viper, first impressions on this relatively new channel.
All right, everything is BMX, which means he's a bike rider. So that much I can
see. We got that instantly, didn't we? Just from the thumbnails. I think that was pretty clear to see, which is a good start.
You know where I didn't get it though? I didn't get it from the channel banner. So
correct.
Might want to work on making that channel better, more in line with what your content is going to be on the channel. But looking at the videos, yeah, definitely he's a bike rider. He looks like he got good views so far on this video, except for the last couple. But yeah. You got Derby City, we got BMX Grand, how I became the greatest announcer in BMX history. Okay, that's interesting. USA BMX Carolina National, clickbait. Okay, Derby. Okay, yeah.
There's some intriguing, interesting things going on here. I like the playfulness of the titles.
Yeah,
I think the thumbnails are fantastic for a new channel.
Yeah, they are, but at least the first one is missing. It's missing some bike riding content. Yeah, I see the dude with the helmet, but he's blurry, and it's very hard to realize if he's a rider or just a random person in the thumbnail. So I would definitely work on, like you got in that third thumbnail, making the bike a more of a focus point of your thumbnail, just so people can even be more locked into where they are and understanding that they're in the right place when they come to the channel. And that thumbnail that you were hovering over now, I don't know what's going on there. Like, I'm not really sure what's happening with that.
This Nationals one with the $1 million.
Yeah. What are we doing there? I'm not sure what we're doing there.
Dan, what do you reckon?
Well, in terms of thumbnails and titles, I think the middle video is the one I'd be looking the most at, because the thumbnail shows bikes. The video seems focused on BMX, but also themselves too, as like an announcer, and very well edited content, by the way. Like, as we just kind of watch this play in the background, there's a lot of work being done in the edit. So all that's great. I think this is an interesting way to approach a BMX channel, because when I think BMX channel, I think, okay, the host of the channel is probably gonna be riding a lot, and they're probably gonna be doing some kind of crazy stunts or something. But this person's like commentating on the culture around it, perhaps, and everything else. So like, and you get footage of bikes doing jumps, everything else. So that's great. I think bikes should still be the star of the majority of your thumbnails. Especially, like, you managed to do it with this announcer one. It should be about you with a microphone, but you threw some bikes in there and it worked. It's BMX announcer, but this one where you're holding up a check for like $1 million or whatever it is, it doesn't really tell us a whole lot. you know, it's like, okay, it's a person with a check and then another person who looks sad, but there's no bikes. There's no, you know, I don't have a clue if I'm just scrolling by what I'm going to get.
Fair play with the green screen here.
Yeah.
They're sometimes quite hard to pull off, but I'm not seeing too much green on you, and you're filming yourself from quite a distance, so it allows you to almost have that weatherman presenter look in that you can show a lot of this. It brings an interesting scale to the framing.
Rob,
It makes it look really big, the image.
when he's doing that, do you think that he should make himself a little bit smaller though?
I don't know. It's an interesting question. As I say, I think when he's zoomed out, it kind of gives the whole thing a bigger sense of scale, and it allows you to see more of his hand gestures and movements. Maybe zoomed in a little bit, but I don't know. What do you think?
I kind of feel like
He would have to cover up more of a screen if he zoomed in, which means you'd have to shrink you'd have to crop this image in maybe a little bit.
yeah, I kind of feel like the action should be the entire screen instead of just that blurry part where he's at, and he should be a little bit smaller. That's just my take, though.
What do you reckon, Dan? I think we got a for and against of this style.
I think I would do both. I would be zooming in on myself even more. I'd have him like, you know, just for impact. He's like getting larger and smaller, and you know, he kind of faded out at one point. I think you could have because this person seems like they're bringing a lot of like comedy to this. Yeah. I'm also going to say that it just clicked with me that they have taken the BMX type of channel and taken it to the next level. You got footage of you racing because I did notice that it was about you and your perspective, but then you're commentating over it and you like put yourself outside the footage. And I think that's really like a cool way, because we've seen a lot of BMX channels that just silently, they'll put BMX, you know, tricks and stuff, and then they'll commentate over, you know, over that. I need to take a quick break.
You know what I think we should applaud this creator for is you can tell from the thumbnails and the content that they're putting the audience first. They're really thinking about what's going to make their passion, which is BMX biking, interesting to the viewer through the editing. And I want to applaud the creator for that. They've definitely got this the right way around in terms of thinking, how can I make my target audience of BMX enthusiasts interested in my content? And I want to applaud them for that. And another big question again is just volume of content, in that this is all you've been able to do in the last year, essentially. Is it because these videos take an incredibly long amount of time to edit and make, or is it because you don't have the footage? And if it's a case of not having the footage, I would argue that I feel as if you have a good enough sense of content creation, filming and editing, that you can probably put more content together, even if you don't necessarily have all of the best footage around that. Because you've got off to a great start. Every single video has triple-digit numbers. Like for your first 5 videos, including a shot, to have more than 100 views is a fantastic start. To be approaching 100 subscribers from just 4 long-form pieces of content is also incredible.
Pretty legit. Yep.
So, I mean, it's a bit simple, but the Casey Neistat philosophy, do more, is what I would encourage you to do as and when you can find the time. Are you good now, Dan? Have we recovered?
Got cat hair in my nose.
All right. I'm glad you sorted out that. All right, next channel then. We're going to pick out a gaming channel this time. This is going to be 366. And they go by the name of Flame Sage Plays. Nope. Oh, what have I done there? Oh, what an idiot. I just copy and pasted his type of channel rather than the URL. Let's try that again. Here we go. All right. No channel banner. 16 subscribers. Have been on YouTube 2 years. They have a collection of about 20 games, 20 videos. And almost every other game is different. I think we just got some standard advice here, Dan. Would you say?
Yeah, we did talk about this quite a bit. I've seen people do these Stray playthroughs as well. Stray is cool. super linear game though, and I would worry about some of these other games. Like, I don't know them too well, but I worry about doing just a solid playthrough of a super linear game, because the people who do that are the ones who actually get the game like early. You know, like you have a lot of competition there, so you know it's just it makes it that much harder to grow a gaming channel when you're just going to play these, like, there's only one way to play it, right? Like, where everyone, if you've seen one Stray video, you've kind of seen them all. Like, yeah, different personalities behind it, but you're probably only going to stick to one series, watch it all the way through, and be done with it. So could you do something else in the game? Are there different secrets you can find? Are there different tips you can give? Are there bugs? Can you break the game in certain ways? Like, if you're going to play linear games, I would just be aware of the timeliness and the competition in that space, because if you're going to do the same thing everyone else is doing, it's going to be really hard to stand out. So yeah, it could just be a matter of finding, they kind of need to find what it is they want to do on YouTube as well.
I noticed this outlier here, Dan, a tutorial on a game, how to unlock 3 corners of a game I cannot pronounce. Or I'm not even going to attempt to. Now, this could still be a Let's Play through, but because it's titled in such a way, maybe it has more search intent. And maybe you could try and re-engineer your thumbnails and your titles to be somewhat more educational, problem solving, but still be Let's Plays at their hearts once a person gets into the content. Because we're seeing this classic case of walkthroughs, Let's Plays, and views not really picking up much traction.
Yeah, that video has inherent value, you know, that outlier. So how could you, as you play these games, like, how could you continue giving that kind of value?
Are we just going to go around the elephant in the room here?
What?
I wish I had an elephant sound effect. In fact, I did do that once in a video, but I haven't got a sound effect. Go on, Viper.
These thumbnails, man. What is going on with these thumbnails? Like, it looks like you just capture like random parts of gameplay, and
that is true.
Dark, and there's nothing going on in the thumbnails. You gotta either get better parts of the gameplay, or you gotta do some actual custom thumbnail work to make these thumbnails pop, because these thumbnails are doing you no favors. I mean, this could be some of the most amazing gaming content known to man, but nobody will ever know, because ain't nobody clicking on these thumbnails, man. It's not they're not doing that.
Dan and I got wrapped up in the usual Let's Play channel focus, and you're right. You're absolutely right, Viper. These thumbnails do need a lot of improvement, and this is why I stuck on this channel for a while ago. I was saying you could use this style, format, and template. This can be easily taken from the My Little Pony video topic and implanted into the type of content that they're playing with. It might be text on one side, an object that you really need to find, like the 3 corners images on the other side, and make it that simple in terms of the thumbnail style, at least to begin with.
Yeah. There's just a lot. I think when you look at a channel like that, there's just a lot of things we've kind of already said today too. Sure. So just be sure to go back through some of the other gaming channels we looked at today, and we'll probably continue to look at today as well. There's just gonna be different bits of advice that could benefit that channel.
Okay, next channel is a music channel, I think, HD Soundtrack. And I think it's going to be, and I don't mean this in a sarcastic way, it's just a circumstance of where YouTube is right now, but another ambient music channel. And I would say the same thing about another Fortnite channel or another Minecraft channel. How are you going to differentiate yourself from the competition? Are you going to focus on a particular sound effect, a particular video length, a particular genre of music? And right now, I think Sean used this phrase a couple of weeks ago. You're throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. And right now, nothing has stuck. And I'm worried that that will continue to happen. I mean, you have been only at this for 2 weeks. So I think fair play for all of this content that you've thrown out and tested. But also, as well as, you know, testing music, are you also testing sound effects as well? Because, like, what is Beautiful Parrots doing in there as a shot? That's throw me completely. All right. So that is some more relaxing music. within the medium of beautiful parrots on shorts. And I don't know how that would work, given that you'd want to listen to relaxing music for a long period of time, as opposed to 20 seconds in a shot.
Hey, Rob, can we go to the
Yeah.
About page real quick?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where the music is coming from. Like, where are they getting the music? Is this music that they produce themselves, or where are they getting it from?
Fair question. Fair question. All right, I'll click on one of these and see if we get anything from a description. Okay, I maybe those are the people they're trying to. Oh, hang on. Right. Okay, 45 minutes, and it sounds like they've got the music from different YouTube videos already.
Ooh.
I may be misinterpreting, but that's what I'm kind of reading.
Those could just be their video, like they're just trying to link their other videos there. Can we
Let's
click on one?
see.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah, it's also
video.
their own content, right? Yeah, I don't know where this this sound is coming from.
Yeah. Now, if they make that, I think that could be a whole channel. Like, I think you could do like lo-fi versions of really popular songs. Like, there's a lot of things you could do if you're capable of making that music.
Ooh.
If you're just kind of taking it and putting it on YouTube, it's just not gonna. There's not a lot we can do for you. There's gonna be a point where it might just get pulled.
Yeah.
Okay, here's something that you really need to be careful about.
Are you going to talk
I
about
believe
these?
you're breaking YouTube terms and service right there. Yep. I think the limit is 15 tagged or 15 hashtags, whatever. Yeah. Anything more than that, and I think that violates YouTube TOS. So you might want to be careful with that.
Does it violate? I'm trying to work out if it does for tags. I know after 15 tags, it doesn't. I don't think
work.
It doesn't work.
Well, it's not tagged, it's hashtag. They're different. But yeah,
I think keyword stuffing was always the thing I was aware of.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're keyword stuffing, and that's not allowed. I don't think that's allowed.
Where is it? Ah, it's not. Why is it not there? It should be. Oh, because that's how to use hashtags in a video search. Where is it? And you are right, though. It is mentioned in some of the YouTube support about not using more than 15 hashtags, and there's definitely too many there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention, not going to help your video. It might even confuse the algorithm. That might be why your video is not performing, because you're overstuffing them with hashtags and you're confusing the algorithm as to where to put these videos.
Here we go. We've got some. Okay.
Oh, YouTube audio library.
Audio library. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So the music is legal, so that's good.
So now I ask myself this, like, okay, so basically your talent as the YouTube host becomes person that is best at curating free songs from the YouTube library.
Yeah. I'm intrigued here. I want to try and find that Eternal Garden. Carry on, Dan. Carry on.
This is why it's so hard to, like, with music channels, like we see channels like this all the time, and it's so hard to, like, help them. And yeah, this is kind of like,
so is that just looping a 2-minute video
song, you mean?
Sorry, yeah, looping a 2-minute ambient song.
It's possible. Or it could be that they use some music from the YouTube library, but some from like Epidemic or other places that just aren't here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're just kind of like, I guess, curating relaxing music. It's really, really tough. I think a channel like this is not going to be easy, but a channel that could stand out here is one that either makes their own music, so music you can't get anywhere else, or they have a partnership with artists that aren't putting their music anywhere but on your channel or something like that. Like when it comes to YouTube and the advice we give, it's, you know, our jobs are a lot easier when it's like they're doing something unique and we can go, oh, here's like a few things you can do. But we see channels like this all the time and we're like, how do we, because there's already a few people that dominate this space and they curate songs from all these different sources, and it's so hard to compete with that. It's such an entry level way onto YouTube. It's kind of like Minecraft channels, right? Like everyone has Minecraft. So it's very accessible, very easy to start recording. And then we're telling people, you got to do something to stand out. And I think with this ambient music space, like you got to do something to stand out, but it's even harder for us because none of us have like experience as to like how we would stand out in this space. So I'd be doing research into like different, you know, sources of music and things like that.
And there's a relatively low barrier to entry in terms of, I mean, I could start a ambient soundtrack channel probably in an hour if I wanted to. So there are many other creators, faceless channels that could do the same thing. And so, yeah, it's that unique selling point. Or is it just a market that's too overly saturated unless you have a very unique insight into it?
Yeah.
Hey, Yash. Hey, Yash. It's you. Let's audit your channel with 250 subscribers. Do we talk about the usual live stream thumbnails challenge?
Yes. It seems like thumbnails or live streams are a big part of their channel, which is great. Now, on Twitch, you don't need a thumbnail. You don't need to worry too much about a title even. Like, there's just not a lot of discoverability on Twitch, so you're going to be doing other things to get people to watch your Twitch stream, and it's great because you can just hit go live and you can go. But on YouTube, works a little bit differently. You have to really pay attention to your titles and your thumbnails on YouTube, and that counts for streaming as well. If you just use the same exact thumbnail every single live stream, I know you can look at our channel and go, well, wait a minute, you guys reuse thumbnails all the time. Yes, of course we do.
We do.
But we still try to change it up. We've got
better
here and there. We've gotten a little bit better. We tweak it.
I think we have now like 10 live stream variant thumbnails from what I can remember.
But with gameplay channels, no excuse allowed for me. Like that. This is how I feel about this. If you're going to do gameplay live streams on YouTube, you can very easily go in and set a goal for yourself and then make a thumbnail that relates to that goal. Whether or not you achieve the goal, irrelevant. If you want, change the thumbnail afterwards. I don't care. If you're just going to be playing a game, though, give yourself a goal. It's going to do a couple things. Not only are you going to be able to plan a thumbnail and a title around that, but you're also going to be able to give your viewers something to glom onto when the stream starts, right? Because you're going to be like, all right, today in Valorant, I'm trying to get 100 headshots. I will not end this stream until I get 100 headshots. Well, 2 hours later, you're getting hungry. It's time to end the stream. And now you have like a funny excuse or something. I didn't get my 100 headshots. Or maybe you do. And now you have like this epic live stream where, you set a goal for yourself and you achieved it. And then you can turn that into shorts and things like that. So giving yourself a goal adds focus to your live streams and it gets people to watch longer. And when people watch longer, they stay. And when people stay, more people come in and the numbers go up and up and up. So it all starts with that title and that thumbnail, and I think a mindset shift as well. But if it's just going to be a picture of you and the word Valorant, that's just nothing. That's no intrigue. No, all I know is that someone's going to play Valorant, but I don't know why they're playing it. I don't know why I should watch.
They are teasing that there is a goal in mind, Dan, in terms of the grind continues, rank grind, and so on.
But what are they grinding toward?
Exactly. That's the challenge of a target they could set. If they're thinking of how do I set a challenge? It's like you already have a challenge. You probably just don't realize it. I'm also delighted to see that they stopped live streaming 90 minutes ago in order to jump onto this live stream for this channel. Because if you'd have been live streaming while we were attempting to channel audit, would not have happened. Would not have happened.
So
shall we pick another channel, or are we?
Yeah.
You have more to add?
Yep. Just clips from your streams could become videos, et cetera, et cetera. But I would like to see them work on their titles and thumbnails for sure.
All right. Viper, I'm already designating you lead auditor for this next channel. It calls themselves...
Congrats on the promotion, Viper.
Marlin Media, or Marlin Media. I'm sure you're going to have a lot to say here about this channel. Just looking at the thumbnails.
Okay, Malin Media. Let's see. What are we? We're gonna grow your YouTube channel. Merry Christmas, Daddy. What the hell? What am I looking at? I don't know what I'm looking at. All right.
Guest appearance here from Sean Cannell on the channel.
Shout out to Sean. All right, Malin Media. First off, I need some channel focus. I need you to figure out what you want to be. Do you want to be a YouTube tip and trick channel? Do you want to be a music video channel, or what is this dance thing you got going? We're talking about Chelsea football. Like, what are you trying to do? So that's number one. But more importantly, these thumbnails, man. These thumbnails are not going to work because you are using too much text in your thumbnails. It's like, why? We say it time and time again on these audits and live streams, but the best approach for your thumbnails is to keep it simple. Less is more. You don't need like whole like pages of text in your thumbnail. 3 words or less. Keep it simple. The picture is really what should be the highlight of the thumbnail. So pick a good picture that relates some type of emotion about the topic that you're going to discuss, and then give us 3 words that relate to that emotion or that topic, and keep it moving. All this other text, how to grow, and you got your text copying your title. No. That's the other thing that you all need to stop doing. Stop putting the same text in your title and your thumbnail. You're wasting space. You're just missing out opportunity where you could be doing other things with that space in the thumbnail. We don't need to see it twice. So I need you to work on eliminating all this text out of your thumbnail, give us some more clearer pictures of the objective of the video, and figure out what you want to do with your channel. I know you got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos on, so you're still early on. So that will come with time. But at some point over the course of your YouTube career, you need to figure out what the focus of this channel is going to be.
Also, they've not posted in 8 months. So,
oh, Mike.
Come on.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I mean, come on, why are you submitting your channel if you've not posted anything for 8 months? I guess a response to that might be, well, I'm waiting for you to give me some advice.
Oh, no.
Yeah, maybe it's been 8 months since they first posted their channel on our forum, and
oh Lord.
Yeah, but,
Lord.
but my response to that should be, you shouldn't be waiting for us or anybody else to give you the single piece of advice that's going to help you crack the nuts. Like, you should always be testing, always be experimenting, showing a commitment to your audience on a regular basis. But this has given me an idea for a game that I'm going to play right now. We've seen some videos where they say, how long until I break Adobe Photoshop? They load it up and they can break it within 2 seconds. And just seeing Sean Cannell's face there, I assume he's not in this video. I'm just going to play this game. How long is it until I see my face on a thumbnail that has vidIQ in the title, but is not from vidIQ? So let's see. How long is it going to take? I'm guessing not very long. So all of these are hours. All right. Okay. Lots of people trying to crack. Oh, there we go. Yep. So that took about 15 seconds. Thank you. I have definitely not appeared in this video. I can confirm this is.
Oh, what if they stole footage of you? You might be in that video.
Also, I think they're following our Twitter account. Are we?
Yes, we are very close. Yes,
okay.
we're pretty close to there. Yes,
but it's funny. So we did a live stream tracking how. hang on. Let's have a look at this.
That's funny.
So they started at 999,880, and then at the very end.
We're over it. Okay, never mind. We're over 100,000. Okay, cool.
But hang on, they just give up. Well, this is taking too long. And I love how they've got like PewDiePie and Mr. Beast just randomly in there as well. Anyway, I digress. That was a fun game. Let's pick another channel. What are we going to do now? What did we just audit? Was that? No, it wasn't a gaming channel, was it? 112. So we're going to audit a gaming channel here called Yoshi Gaming. This is going to be about Super Mario World 2 and what's the Switch game, Dan? Yoshi's Egg World or something.
Oh, Yoshi's Woolly World?
Sure, that one. It's not about any of that, is it?
No, I think they just like the name Yoshi. So their Fall Guys video is 1.3K views.
Yeah. What about Dragon Ball here as well?
Yeah. So they're getting they're capturing some cool moments, putting them on shorts, which is certainly a way you can do it. We've given a lot of advice today on shorts and building that community and things you can do. So I highly recommend for this channel to go back and watch towards the beginning of today's live stream for sure. I still think it's going to be important to do consistent things. So Fall Guys, Dragon Ball, and Fortnite, it's a bit all over the place. Hard to build up that consistent fan base. Spider-Man, for example. Oh, that was Spider caught in 4K. Never mind. That's just about a spider.
Yeah. So all of a sudden it's insects. I've gone from gaming to insects here.
Yeah. So definitely need to do the channel focus speech.
Sorry if I'm triggering anyone there. I
don't like that.
And come on, that's not 4K. Let's be honest about that. That is not 4K.
That is not 4K. No.
It physically really can't be 4K because of the.
Dear. What I do find for it, I think they put the Star Wars music over it.
Oh,
that's quite funny. I quite like that bit.
I couldn't hear it for some reason. Anyway, so that I think those are just our quick bits of advice. We've talked a lot about shorts today. It's going to need to be, there's other bug shorts as well, like channel focus for sure. It matters with YouTube shorts, in my opinion. If you're coming to us asking to grow, how to grow, that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah. Big channel pivot there. I wonder if if a creator was bitten by a spider and then it just changed his whole mentality, mind shift to start making videos about insects.
Right. Yeah.
Because when filming insects comes great responsibility or something like that. Tumbleweed. Yep. No one found that funny. Next channel. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm here for the next 10 minutes. All right. Red Jackson Dance is our next channel. We do apologize, by the way. It's getting towards the end of a live stream. We dress down a little bit. We get a little bit funky and free and a little more, a little punchy. We're just filling in for Savage if he's not here. Right. Red Jackson Dance. Let's see what we've got here. Oh. Can you hear that?
It's low.
And he
okay.
Having it. A tea strainer. They're usually a little ball like this, but you can get the giant ones. And if you open those up and put them on your eye.
Okay,
so like they interviewed somebody and then they put the interview into YouTube Shorts.
Where is the full interview? Is it anywhere on this channel? It looked like they were putting a lot of eggs in that basket of promoting that.
Yeah, the interview right there. It's like you just passed it.
Was it down here?
Yeah, MJ lead guitars right there. Live interview with Jennifer Baden. So
okay,
I guess they broke that 53-minute interview up into short.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but maybe it's just because I can see it on the shorts thumbnail. Like, it's a big pitch for the call to action to watch a full interview. And should it have been more about putting captions on and making the value of that content itself more interesting?
Yeah, I kind of wonder too how the context is with all of these. Like, that person just kind of started talking. It was kind of hard for me to hear them, but if I was scrolling through the shorts feed, would I understand what's going on? There's the big block of text that's trying to encourage me to go watch a full interview, but this soundbite that you captured, do I need to watch the full interview to understand it? Because if that's the case, you're not doing a lot of justice for the people who are watching you through the short shelf. It's all about it's all about trying to get people to watch your longer form video, which again, is just not a good strategy for YouTube Shorts. It's really hard to convert someone in real time from the short shelf to your long form videos. I would be cutting these up into shorter YouTube videos that are not on the short shelf and keeping all that context in there, just the interesting bit from that question. And you know what I mean? That could be and then you could put a different title and thumbnail on it.
So you're saying, for example, this interview could be split up into 4 or 5 to 6 minute videos.
Yeah,
where they're focusing on a particular topic that they were discussing, and as we've recently done actually with some of our podcasts.
Right, and you know it's interesting. They're getting some really good views on these. Like they seem like they have some good access. So they're getting some good celebrity interviews, and people who are like celebrity adjacent. But yeah, if you wanna get even more growth, I don't think shorts is the right way. You're not using these in the right way, I would say, if you're doing shorts. So, you know, I think you could play around with titles and thumbnails and take one interview, break it up into a few different, do the whole interview, and then break up a few just clips that are 2 minutes long and make those their own video, not shorts.
What do you think about the titling strategy, which is basically live interview with Star X? Do you think the videos carry themselves enough with the name, or do you think they should try and make the title a bit more exciting, or the thumbnail in terms of something impressive, shocking, almost salacious that happened in the conversation, you know, like an exclusive of some kind?
Yeah, I would test it, but live interview, okay, boring, and also obviously it's just boring and obvious. Person whose name you've probably never heard before, not super helpful. And then you know, the interesting bit is at the end, MJ's dancer. Okay, I know who that is, and I get
Yeah.
the context there. So, you know, I would be at least restructuring the title. So the most interesting bit, you know, and then so what did they say? So MJ's dancer thinks blank. You know what I mean? And then, you know, interview with so and so maybe at the end of the title where it gets truncated, so they're still credited in the video, but you know, you might want to do them some justice by putting their name in your title, but if less people click on it because they don't know who that is, you're not doing the interview justice. So you want to make sure that it's just a really snappy title and thumbnail.
I find this curious and intriguing. Like whoever you're speaking to, interviewing, apparently taught MJ to do a moonwalk, and even me, who has virtually no interest in music, understands what that is and makes it more accessible to me. I don't think the images necessarily connect with that idea of teaching somebody how to do a moonwalk. But you know, just having these sort of phrases in the title and or the thumbnail make them instantly more accessible to somebody like myself.
Yes. Yeah.
And then just generally, the thumbnails are a little busy, aren't they? You know, again, we go back to this one where there's a big readable block of text and one object that they're focusing on. Whereas here, more text, not as big and readable, and then more images and elements to try and focus on. Again, just how did we say earlier, Dan? Your viewers are in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
They've only got 1 second to look at the thumbnail.
Yep.
Whereas I need to look at these for 4 or 5 seconds.
I relate to that personally too. Like a lot of times I'm looking to watch a video, but I want to watch it while I'm cooking something. I don't spend much time searching. YouTube recommendations throw some stuff at me, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time before I click on something because I need to start cooking. I have something to do. So I think a lot of people approach YouTube that way, and I think it's really just an important mindset to be in when you're making titles and thumbnails for videos.
What that channel does have, which 99.999% of other creators will not have, is access and the ability to speak to these people. And that is a really unique selling point that's going to distinguish your channel amongst others, which is why I think they're getting, you know, a decent number of views versus your subscribers. But you could probably do a lot more with a better pitch in terms of a title and a thumbnail.
Yep. Context is everything with shorts, though. That's
Chippy. Approaching 200 subscribers. And I'm seeing some Fortnite action going on here.
Interesting, yeah.
Looks like they've taken one picture of themselves and used it in multiple thumbnails.
Yeah, I definitely you need a photo shoot day. Different facial reactions, things like that, so you can kind of use them in different contexts. See, Fortnite very close call, 3,000 views there. That's a good example of a short that probably has like enough context in it without having to see like the full blown video. And they got their face cam in there, so I think they're the way they're doing shorts without even watching them, just on the surface, it looks like they're doing a pretty good job. They're stuck to Fortnite. That is going to be where they're going to focus, which is cool. They're giving some tips.
I just saw the TikTok icon in the thumbnail. I was just wondering where that came from.
You want to be sure that doesn't make it in YouTube.
You want us to follow? You want us to follow you on TikTok or subscribe to your YouTube channel? There's a call to action.
Oh my!
YouTube has said that they are looking for videos that have icons from other platforms, and they basically said you don't want to have that. That they don't. YouTube never gives us anything super direct, but they've said that definitely in a in a setting that I had the opportunity to hear that in. So
very secretive there.
Yeah, don't do that. And then it's let's see, posting a day ago, Fortnite is going to be a really tough place to be just because it's a free game. Again, highly accessible. You want to continue doing things that help you stand out. I would say the thumbnails that they're using they're good, like they do okay, but they're not reminiscent of like the biggest and best thumbnails in the space. You know what I mean? Like they're missing that Fortnite-iness to them that we see with so many big channels. So they may need to continue working on that as well. It's just going to be about finding new ways to kind of stand out, because just looking at some of the titles of these, I'm just focused on the long form videos right now. Like First Win Fortnite, Chapter 3, Season 3. It's like, okay, like I know what's going to happen, but I don't have that why. I'm missing like the why I should watch.
Some of their shorts are doing pretty well though. Getting a couple of thousand views on some of them, which is nice to see.
Yeah, and it could also, that could be your whole channel if you wanted it to be, honestly. So yeah, but yeah, keep at it.
All right, we'll go into overtime and audit this channel here, and then maybe call it a successful audit without getting cancelled once again. DR Kevwi TV, I'm going to go with. I was going to let you lead with this one as well, Viper, but I apologize if I did, because you're going to be saying the same things over and over again here. Like, what is this channel up to?
I did warn you all 2 hours ago that if we end up repeating ourselves, you might want to take special note of what we're saying over and over again. And Rob is right. It looks like I'm going to be repeating myself over again here. But yeah, we got cameras, we got a car, we got cars. So I would almost. Hey, can we go sort by most popular real quick, Rob?
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. Oh no. Yep. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, you I said earlier, channel focus is going to be a big thing for especially for you newer creators, because you are still trying to find your footing on the platform. So you don't know what you want to do, and that's okay. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I'm saying is that at some point you will have to figure out what you want your channel to be about, because you have to become known for something. You can't be a jack of all trades and master of none on YouTube and expect to grow. That doesn't work. You got to become the master of a single trade or a single one or two trades, so people can know you for that particular subject matter, and that is how you grow. So you definitely need some channel focus here. And I think once you find that channel focus, then you can begin to grow this channel. I will say that I like, actually, no. The one card thumbnail, the most recent thumbnail, I like. The other one, I'm not really feeling the whole collage effect. That's kind of weird. I'm not really feeling that. But the most recent thumbnail I like. Looks like for the most part, your thumbnails are pretty simple with a few words and text. So I'm kind of liking the simplicity of the thumbnails. But yeah, I think my biggest advice for you is channel focus. You got to figure out what you want to do.
I look at this video in particular and think it's very particular niche here. There's probably less than 10,000 people who are currently engaged in trying to get a UK health and care worker visa in 2022. Now, it's not to say that you shouldn't cover that topic, but you could make a very targeted channel addressing everything there is to know about this topic and start to build out almost, I could think like you could do some paid learning courses on it, or you could like offer some affiliate opportunities. But when it's mixed in with car reviews and a visit to Brighton Pier and then a review about a camera, that's going to be really tricky to bring back the audience time and time again. Because I can guarantee you, the 210 people who watch this video are probably not the same 210 people who watch this, although the view counts are really similar, which I find curious and a little suspicious, in that they all seem to have about 150, 200, 400, 200. Logic would suggest that that doesn't usually happen on a channel like this, right? So I'm going to just click on one of these and see the engagement. Now that is really, hang on. Whoa.
Okay, yeah, that never happened.
How is that possible?
That's a no. That's a no. That's no.
I don't know what's going on here. And why is it YouTube Kids as well?
Maybe because they're kids.
Right, because all the kids in it.
There were some children in that one. All right, let's have a look at this one. All right, so this seems
more like it.
More like it. 12 likes. But again, visiting a peer. Why is that on YouTube Kids?
They marked all their content for kids.
I think they might have marked they might have made a mistake marking their content for kids. Yeah.
Well, this one isn't. There's some curious analytics going on in the background in some of these.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the creator's doing anything untoward. It's, when I see the consistency of the view counts versus the content and the subscriber count, I'm just asking questions and trying to find out answers. And I'm not going to get
the question got to be asked, man. The questions have to be asked.
All right, Dan, sorry. Did you have anything else to add here?
The thumbnails towards the top anyway looked like just a lot of ads. Like it felt like there was just a collection of different types of ads from different corners of the internet, just thumbnail wise. Like you know, I know that sounds kind of mean. I just don't, again, just going back to the channel focus topic, like I just don't know what I'm ever going to get. And the thumbnails aren't helping that cause. And so it kind of needs, I think this channel needs to hit the reset button and determine why they're on YouTube, what it is they're trying to accomplish for themselves, and what kind of value they want to bring to creators or viewers rather, or creators.
All right then. Shall we call that a successful channel audit session, everyone?
All right.
Round of applause. Dan, do we want to do that poll again and like find out how people are feeling now about their channels?
Okay.
They're probably just going to troll us and like all say 1 star or something, but yeah, let's do that again. So as we come to the conclusion of a channel audit live stream, I think we did less channels this week, but we had a lot of deep and meaningful conversations about certain parts of the YouTube mindset. And we thank you for joining us. We will be back, of course, next week, same time, for more channel audits. But we will also be here tomorrow, Dan. And yeah, do you just want to remind us what we'll be doing there and then?
Yep. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at your videos. Today we looked at your channel. Tomorrow we're going to look into your actual videos. We're going to see how you're doing in terms of holding people's attention when they click on your videos, and how you're doing about, you know, getting people to watch more of your videos when you put them out there. So for example, we'll be looking at outros. Do you push people to the next video? Perhaps we'll be looking at some of your production quality as well, and just giving advice, you know, along the way. So there you go.
And yeah, it is official. Congratulations, Viper. You have successfully steered the good ship at vidIQ on Twitter to over 100,000 followers. So well done to you, sir. I don't know if there is a Twitter equivalent plaque for you. Maybe somebody can make us one. But you don't just gallivant around on Twitter. What else do you do here at vidIQ for us?
Well, you know, Rob, as far as what I do with vidIQ, I am the host of our podcast called Tube Talk, which is a podcast that goes out every Thursday morning on the podcast airways. So I do that. I also run our Instagram account, and I post most of our Facebook content as well. Also, fun fact for gentlemen, next Tuesday will be my official 1-year anniversary here at vidIQ.
Oh, cool. Congrats.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's when your contract expires, right? And we throw you out.
I don't think it works that way, but yes.
Just kidding. Folks, it's been a pleasure as always. If you want to take your conversations and education to the next level, then don't forget, we have the vidIQ Max links in the description to get your 30% discount. Otherwise, we'll be here. We'll be around. We'll see you again. I don't know when. Hopefully tomorrow. Yeah. All right. We'll definitely see you tomorrow, right?
Yeah.